The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody. How are we on this wonderful Monday? Mondays used to be such a dreadful time back in the days of him being employed. Sorry for any of those that are on the call that are, but I just remember just the feelings of absolute Sunday night, Sunday afternoons, you'd start to get that feeling about having to go and work for somebody else. It's a total different game when you're in your own business. So, for those of you that are, I know there's some of you on the call that are, just know that just keep pushing forwards and doing what needs to be done, because that is the most important part. That's really, really going to set you up for success and be able to transition and move towards where you want to be. Good morning. A lot of new faces on the call, which is good, and some regulars. So if you can just give me a quick shout out that you can see the screen and that you can hear me nice and clearly, then I'm coming through well. So that'd be great. While I'm doing that, I just would like to welcome some of the new faces to the call. It's great to have you all on here. This is something that every Monday morning, either Natasha or myself, depending on who has been asked or what content wants to be delivered, we will be meeting every Monday morning. Sometimes you'll get both, but with the life that we live and with other things that have got going on, they'll generally be either one of us will be on the call. So thank you for those that have said you can hear me. I know I can now continue and not need to worry about any technical challenges or anything that are going on. So Natasha this morning is running her event with Robert Curry. So that's in Doncaster in Melbourne. So that is scale up your marketing and take your business to the next level. So that's something that is been asked for a lot with over the last 12 months from a lot of people in our community. So we've also, Natasha had met Robert about 12 months ago, and he's a marketing genius, and he's going to be delivering some great content as well. So they're there. Then off on Wednesday, they're up for another event up in Sydney. So the same event that they're running in Sydney. Both have attracted a big turnout. So we've been busy making sure that this is the first event that we're running for free. So this has been through Facebook ads, offering a book giveaway, and then having people attend for there with the opportunity to come and do a VIP ticket, which was lunch with Natasha and Robert as well. So we're going to see. We know normally it's about 20 to 30% turn up rate from a free event. So this has been a big investment with Facebook advertising, but it's a great learning as well, and that's what all of the big players do. The free events are something that they're running regularly, like the Kerwin Rays, and a lot of people, there's always going to be some form of upsell, obviously. You know, if you're going to give people amazing content in 4 hours or a half-day event, I don't think a person would walk into that event thinking that there isn't going to be some form of opportunity for them to take the next step. So that's just something for all you guys to think about as well. So if any of you saw my post this morning, what we're going to be talking about today, I was asked about this from a member late last week. So I thought, yep, something that I think a lot of people can get a bit of advantage of, where we're going to talk about ideal clients. So where you can find them, why you should be working with your ideal client rather than just anybody, and then how once you find them, how you can actually start to communicate with them. So if that's cool with everybody, obviously any open Q&As I'm going to open up for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the call. People can bring up any questions that they might have as well, or a challenge that they might have been having with their business as well. And I can either take you off mute, or you can just jump your question in that little chat box that you'll see down there. For those of you that have used GoToWebinar before, so you can just chuck your question in there as well. So I'll start off with talking about why it's important to work with your ideal client, and just a little story about how Natasha and I set ourselves up about 12 to maybe 16 months ago now. So we were sitting around on one of our holidays, and we had just had a couple of challenging clients that we've been working with over the past. We'd been sort of attracting into our lives maybe 12 months before that, and they were still there. And one of them we ended up having to issue legal proceedings against, and it was a really messy situation. We were working with some other people that weren't getting the results that we wanted to get. They were just not putting in the effort that we were putting in to actually mentor them. So it was started to be not an enjoyable time for us. We were working more one-on-one with people at the time. So there were a couple of times it was just we were sitting there and going, okay, why don't we put the intention out there about the right type of client that we're going to want to attract? And that's a big thing. If you say yes to everybody, and when you're early on in business, most people do fall for that. Now, it's not a trap, but it's certainly a lot of learnings that come with it. You've really got to start to learn to say no. So back to the story, Nat and I were sitting around on one of the breaks that we regularly have. The kids had gone to sleep, and we were, having a wine, and we said, look, why don't we actually write out, so not a manifesto, but actually write out what our ideal client looks like. So, of course, earlier on in business, we'd done the avatar, we'd done all of that, and it was just an extension of that. So we actually wrote down the qualities that all of the people that we were going to attract into our lives were going to have. So some of them were very simple, that they were going to turn up, play at 100%. They were going to take our advice, and they were just going to take the action. They were going to pay regularly. They were going to ask questions. They were going to be curious. We really did write about it. And then right at the end, we actually wrote, and we will not work with dickheads. So pardon the French for anybody that's offended easily. But we actually implemented a no dickhead policy. No matter how much they were willing to pay us or what program they wanted to do, we put everybody down by a screening. So we would interview every person that wanted to undertake any of our programs or wanted to work with us one-on-one. And if we got a sense during that call, so we set up some templates and some questions that we were going to make sure that we asked them all. But realistically, you can get a pretty good feeling through talking to someone with half an hour what they're going to be like. And we just implemented that. And guys, you wouldn't believe it. After we did that, from that minute on, the other people that we were having some challenges with left our ecosystem. So one of them, we just got the matter resolved, and other people just decided that they were going to go off and do something else, or they were just going to quit the program, whatever it was. And every person, to a T, there has not been one. So from the last 16 months that we've had come into our ecosystem, which has been a dickhead. It's just been an absolute joy. Every person has been just so amazing to work with. And that's because we put the intention out there, and we started saying no to people. We started saying no to opportunities, no to people putting them in our programs, because we've got a very close-knit community, our inner circle especially, and we're around a lot on Facebook and around with them on a daily basis. So we don't want to bring people into that, which is going to be like a cancer in that group. We wanted to make sure that everybody that came in would appreciate being in there, that add value as well. That's the other thing you've also got to think of, guys. If you've got a community, whether it's an online community or you meet as a mastermind group, make sure that the people that you're going to bring in there, even if they're going to pay you money, is going to add value to yourself and the rest of the group. It's not worth just bringing anyone else in. So we've just had one person coming in saying they've just lost sound out, so not going to help. If anyone else has had that issue, just let me know. It's all looking good at my end, so Adair, maybe it is just your end. If anyone else says anything, I'll obviously jump on and let you know. Hopefully it was just a little glitch and it's going to jump back in there very quickly. So, yeah, so that's something that I want you to really focus on, guys, making sure that you don't just say yes to everybody, even if you're down to your last $5 and you just know that the person that is coming into your system or that wants to come onto your system is actually going to cost you. So it might not cost you money, but it might cost you your sanity. It might cost you your time, which I still believe after a reframe 12 months ago, my time is worth so much more than anybody's money, no matter what it is. So just be wary about that, making sure that you're just not saying yes to anybody. And then if you start working with them, make sure in your contracts or in your agreements or whatever that you have, that after a month, if this person and you if they're driving you crazy, make sure that you can sack them as a client. You've got to have something like that in there. It's no good for you because of the energy, and no good for them if you're having difficulties servicing or serving them. All right, so I'll put a few little notes together quickly. A lot of this is going to be ad hoc, but I just wanted to share with you a couple of my thoughts about it so you get a bit more of an understanding. So especially about the why you want your ideal client. So you want people that you want to have, obviously, that share the same values of yourselves. This is one of the things that Nat and I put in our little notes. They want to make sure that they're prepared to invest in themselves. So if they need to go off and do something, or you tell them to go and read this or do that, or they might need to, change something on their website, or they might need to create a product that they weren't willing to do and it was going to cost them something, that they need to be prepared to do that. Sometimes if people are down to their last cent and you are the last thing that they're hoping on to do everything with and, make the money, it can be quite challenging, because if you can see that they need to be doing something to be investing a bit more money, I'm not talking thousands and thousands. That's not the type of mentoring that Nat and I, did and do now. But they've got to be able to. They can't just be rubbing their last 5 cents together. It's a very tough position to be in, because you might see that they need to invest in something and they just don't have to do it. You want to make sure that they're going to do the work. Now, this is a big thing. Promises are, what do they say? Promises are cheap, action's priceless. I think I've just cocked that up somewhere, but that's really the point. They've got to make sure that you want to make sure that they're going to do the work. They're not going to come full of excuses. They're not going to have challenges with X, Y, Z. Insert whatever challenge that most people come up with here. The good chances, if you attracted your ideal client, they're often going to end up being your number one fan, or guys will have all heard the term your raving fans. These are the people that are going to sell you and sell your programs to every single person that they meet. And that's an amazing thing to have happen. You don't need to sell. So much of our work comes from word of mouth. So people enjoy working with us and they just have to tell somebody else. So that's what you want to have. If you attract your right ideal client, they're potentially going to become a raving fan. It's obviously a lot easier to work with. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you for letting me know you're on there. How are you? Loggy, where are you logging in from? Oh, from Palm Cove. Tough life for some. Enjoy it up there. It's just beautiful. Hopefully you got a bit of sunshine. It's about 7 degrees down here at the moment, Elizabeth. So, fellow Melbourneite. So, as I was saying, it's a lot easier to work with them, and it means that they've got to have the means to pay for your services or products. It really is. Oh, everybody's telling me now. Where else? It's all sunny everywhere else. Thanks, guys. It's just driving again. Chris driving off to Canberra. Beautiful. And it's so warm and sunny. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm sure everyone else that's in a cold spot will love that you're up there at the moment. No, good on you. You deserve the break. You've been working really hard lately. So that is good. Now, the thing is, people often then say, what do I need to know about them? How do I know where my ideal client is? First of all, what do they like? But then I need to know, what do they like? So what do I need to know about them? So the first thing you obviously need to know is, where the hell are they? And normally that's a question that someone's already typed in when I'm covering this. So, well, how do you find them? Where do you know where they are? So you need to know where they hang out. You need to know what they value, how they want to be communicated to. This is a big thing as well. How they make their buying decisions, because if you don't know how they're going to make their buying decisions, now, most people's are similar, but everyone's got their own way of doing it. And are they the decision maker? Are they the ones that can decide to take up your product or service? Or is there really somebody else, that person in the family or the relationship, that is a decision maker? Because there's not much point you wasting a lot of time trying to sell someone or be putting in front of people an offer if they can't even decide to do it. It's interesting. A lot of real estate agents get this wrong, and their target market, all they keep appealing to is men. They think men are the ones that are earning the income. Men are going to be the ones that we need to get in front of to buy the house. It's total BS. If they're buying, obviously I'm not talking if people are single, but if they're in a relationship, the person that chooses the house 8 times out of 10 is the female in the relationship. They're the decision maker. They're the one, and real estate agents, once they get that right and they start to understand and start to market a little bit more to the female, that's when they're going to start to have success. So we've had our first real estate agent come around to our author retreat 2 weekends ago, and it was very female-centric at the retreat. And through having a lot of discussions with a lot of the women there, he just had that eye-opener himself. He's just gone, oh, you guys are my target audience. It's not the men. And that was a real great insight for him to have. So he tweaked a bit of his content and a little bit of his copywriting and a little bit for his advertising and his website, because he understood who his ideal client was going to be. and then started to communicate, as I just mentioned, how do they want to be communicated to? Men and women generally do want to be communicated a little bit differently to. And he certainly found out who was the decision maker. So that makes a big difference, yeah, once you get onto those, finding out where you are from there. So then the next question is, now I know a little bit about them, how do I find them? Where do I find my ideal client? Everybody says they're going to be on Facebook, or they're going to be on LinkedIn, or they're going to be at networking events, they're going to be in chat rooms, they're going to be da-da-da-da-da. And all of that's true. I'm not going to tell you it's not. But you really don't just eliminate one automatically over another. You've got to do that little bit of classic marketing A/B split testing. You've got to work out if someone's not being, you're not attracting them in one spot that you are, just because that's where you like to be. So I know a lot of people that like Facebook. They like hanging out on Facebook. They're coaches or consultants, or they're selling a product, whatever it might be. So you go somewhere where you like hanging out, where you're safe, where you're comfortable, where you know everything intimately. But if your clients aren't in that particular spot, you need to get out of your comfort zone and go somewhere where you're not comfortable, where your ideal clients are. So if that means jumping onto Periscope, are you still a Perivirgin? If you're running a consulting business, jump on Periscope. You really can be having instant conversations with people. Or are they on LinkedIn? Where are they? Where are your people at? And even if you're uncomfortable and you're not familiar with the system, go and learn it. Start hanging out there, finding out where they are, and just watch their behavior. Be a little bit of a voyeur for a little while, if you like. Go in there and have a look before you start contributing anything and speaking to them and starting to add your expertise and the thing that's going to make you stand out as the authority figure, where these guys need to have an authority figure there. All right, so make sure that you go and find them. But the best thing I can I'll ever give you guys, and this is something that Nat and I are big on. We had the conversation on Friday, and then I actually think Nat was talking to one of her clients last night as well, and it was about go where the people that advise your clients. Okay, that is where you need to go and start hanging out, and that's where you'll find your ideal client. So it might be that a health and wellness practitioner advises your clients, or it might be that a doctor advises your clients. So one of the biggest things that back, a million years ago, back in my optical industry, was even aware of it back then. So yes, you can do all your marketing, you can appeal to people that just might want a new, sexy frame or a new modern frame or whatever it might be. But we actually went and I started forming relationships with every ophthalmologist. So that's like an eye doctor or an eye surgeon, for those of you that aren't familiar with the term, because people would go there with their eye conditions, and then they would just listen to anything that these people say. So they were advising my ideal client, my client that needed glasses and that valued their eye health, because they were going and paying a lot of money to see these eye doctors. So I formed a relationship with these doctors and said, hey, I will take care of all of your clients' needs. They'll feel, you just send me a little card saying that it's come from you. I'll look after them. I'll give them I'll report back to you. So formed a very close relationship. So therefore the eye doctor, the ophthalmologist, knew that his clients were going to get taken care of. And I could go and attract people that were they were running on 10, 15-minute appointments all day, every day. And most of the time they needed to then go to a dispensary, which is what an optician is, what we were, owned an optical store. He would refer them and send them there. So spend a little bit of time working out who actually advises your clients, and then go there and start hanging out with them. So you can also, the second thing you can do is you can put together a survey or a poll and poll your audience. So poll the people that you think are your ideal client and ask them questions. Ask a series of questions about what makes them tick. So where do they go? Where do they like to spend their social time? Or where do they spend their business time? Okay. So what online platform is it? How do they make buying decisions? So you can just put this out to them, that you're just wanting to do some research and find out about what makes them tick, because people love, obviously, when someone takes an interest and wants to ask them about it. just another real quick tip, guys, while I think about it, something always comes up as well. If you've ever got someone that you really admire in whatever field it is, if it's a field that you're just starting off in and that you want to get to someone's level, one of the easiest ways to start to form a relationship with those people is get in contact with them and ask to interview them. Because people love being interviewed. It's great for you because you get to learn. You might get to pick these people's brains for 20 minutes, half an hour. Never make it longer than half an hour because often they're very busy. But ask to interview them and then share that interview. So record it, make sure you got some tech stuff happening. So record it on Zoom or record it on a different program, whatever it might be, and share that, make them appear, big in the eyes of others, and that you really felt that it was valuable and you wanted to share it and you learned so much and this person's really awesome. That was great. They spent this time with you. So they love it because you've opened them up to maybe your own community, different people that they didn't have before. And you look really good as well because you've got this interview with a superstar in your field, in your niche. So don't forget that. It's a really good thing to do. Interview people ahead of you where you want to go and then put it out there. And that's great. Then you generally got a very good in with them. If you ever want to ask them any more questions, they're going to be a lot more susceptible to saying yes for you in there. You want to get to know them intimately as well. So this ideal client of yours, you want to really know everything about them. People make the mistake. It's an example that you'll get. I think it'll be a national campaign from wherever you are. And it's annoying, but that UE ad. So UE has a system, UE Car Insurance, that they will keep asking questions. They'll keep asking more and more about you to find out how much you drive your car, and they're doing it obviously as a liability thing. They're not stupid. Big business isn't. But how they promote it is that they're getting to know you. They're touchy-feely company, They want to know all about you so they can save you money, which we know deep down, if you know marketing, that's not the case at all. It's they're saving themselves money because they're getting less risks to premiums and things like that. But that's all good. But they're promoting it out as though we really want to know everything about you. So get to know them really intimately. Just keep asking questions. Ask everything that you can until they say, okay, you've asked enough questions, then you can shut up. All right. So next steps. I'm going to go to my notes for a few of these. I just jotted them down. So now that you've found them, so you've found where they hang out, you know where they go. Next question is, so what do you do? So first of all, you need to, as I said before, you need to be voyeurs for a while. You actually need to research the platform or the ecosystem where they are. So if they're only on LinkedIn, but they might be in actual groups on LinkedIn. They might continually to be in forums on LinkedIn or in groups which you can then join and start watching them, observe. Don't just jump in, because if you jump in early, you only get, we all know the classic saying, you get one chance to make a first impression. So don't blow it and get in there and start trying to sell them something. Because if you go into their place, no, I won't use that saying. I don't know how many people are easily offended here. But just make sure, don't go and pee where they eat. I'll soften it down a bit. So wherever they eat, if they're in their kitchen, don't you go in there and start peeing all over the floor. You just want to be in there watching from the lounge room a little bit and wait to be asked in. Come and have that coffee in their kitchen with them. Terrible metaphor, but I think you'll all understand where I'm going with it. So watch and observe and find out what the acceptable type of behavior is in these groups or where they are. So is it cool to share? Is it cool to promote? Is it cool to add value? Is it cool to send an inbox or an email to offer them an opportunity? Just work out what happens. Let people approach you often first of all. But then the best thing to do, and this is a big adage that Nat and I run our business and our lives with, go in there and add value without selling anything. If you add value and you continue to add value, you then have generally the respect and the trust enough in people that you can then give them an opportunity or make them an offer without selling them something. Okay, that's where we want everybody to start understanding your own communities in your own place. Okay, go in there and add value. Give freely. Share a lot of stuff. Share, even if it's just insights. If you're a coach and you're selling the classic inverted commas here, hot air. Go in there and add value. Share a lot of insights, some client stories without mentioning names. Things like that, and be the authority figure. Be the authority figure in the niche, and that's going to be very helpful for you being perceived as the expert. Once all of that started having, then you can start to comment, mention, or share, okay, their posts, their comments, whatever it might be. So whether this is online or offline. Ask a question. Start asking questions if it's in an online space, and become interested in their beliefs, in their values, in what they do. So what was it about this? They made a comment or shared a story. Ask some questions about it. And then once you've done that and you've had that little bit of a back and forth, it really is, it's a time you can only offer. Ask to catch up. Ask if they would like to connect on another platform, okay? Don't just straight away connect. Ask them for permission first. Again, same thing. Ask to be invited into their kitchen rather than just turning up unannounced. It's nothing worse than people doing that. Yeah, ask to catch up for a one-on-one or in a Skype chat or whatever it might be. Just if you want to get to know them a little bit more, because that's what it's all about. It's all about forming these relationships with people. If you don't form a relationship, it's going to be very hard to actually ever get them as a client or a joint venture partner. And then become even more curious. So questions that are sometimes if you're asking just too much, it'll be seen like more of an interrogation. But go down that path, keep asking and repeat back. This is a great tip that a lot of people don't utilize, whether it's in a sales process or getting to know. Repeat back any emotive response that you got given. So you need to listen more. You get 2 ears and 1 mouth. So listen more about what they're saying. So you might say, so what I heard you say then is you feel really angry when your kids do that. Is that right? And then get them to say it back again, because if you can elicit emotions from people, you got a very good chance of actually getting them to make a decision or to get to an awareness that they need to change something, to do something, whether that's then investing in you or doing something else. So get some emotive responses. That's a huge key. One takeaway I want you guys to all get today. Number one thing. So wait for an opportunity to sort of say what you do, who you work with, what problems that you solve. Don't just jump in at the right spot. Counseling techniques, Elizabeth. Yeah, absolutely. So coming from that, don't give away your secrets. All right, scrub that. Recording didn't work, Elizabeth. Our secret's safe. Definitely show passion, confidence, and certainty that you know what you're talking about. Make sure that you're really getting in there and you're excited, because I don't want to buy from somebody that's got this energy. They're going to drain your energy, and I would never buy from somebody that's not passionate or enthusiastic about their product or service. So fake it. If you're an introvert, doesn't matter. You can still be an extroverted introvert, or channel it. If you don't have good sales skills or techniques and you feel as though you're too quiet. Back in my retail days, some of my best salespeople were introverts. You don't need to be an extroverted personality to be successful in business, but you've got to exude confidence and certainty, and you still need to be passionate about what you do, okay? So, and then invite them to experience whatever it is that you have. So if you'd elicit, you've got some emotive responses. You've shown passion, certainty, confidence, and that you've sort of chatted to them. They've told you that they're in pain, or they've told you that they've got a problem. Then that's your opportunity. That's when you can invite them to experience, again, as I said, whatever it is that you do here. Yo, technology, love you. Sorry, guys. So get them to experience it, get them to do, and jump in and do something. Yeah? So in wrapping it up, make sure you're testing and measuring a couple of different platforms to find out where your ideal clients are. Get creative. You need to just look further. Open up your, don't just have the blinkers on that your ideal clients are only the spot where you want to be. Look out where else they can be. Don't be precious. Don't just be precious about things. You got to be able to move on, but be committed. So if something's not working in a certain spot and you're still not getting the success that you want, change something. Don't get so caught up in what you're doing and where you think it is, where you think your people are going to be. Look up. So look around where it might be and ask for referrals. If you've got those raving clients that you've brought in, make sure that you're asking them, who is it? Okay, who else in your life needs to know about me? Okay, that's a way that you can say it. You've got to be confident. You probably got to have been in business a little bit longer to do this. But if you're a confident person or fake confidence, even if you're not, and someone keeps telling you, oh, how much of a difference you're making, if you're still wanting to build your client base or your database, whatever it might be, you just ask the question, who is it in your life that needs to know about me and what I do? So, guys, hopefully that has been valuable for you. We always run the last couple of minutes. We just share the upcoming events that are going on. As I mentioned at the start of the call, some of you I can see have jumped on late. Natasha's currently at the Melbourne Scale Up Your Marketing, Take Your Business to the Next Level with Robert Curry, the half-day event now. If you are in Sydney, it's not too late. This is a free event, and there's an opportunity for a VIP ticket. There are still 2 left in Sydney for a VIP, and there's still a few tickets left for general admission. So you can go to ultimate 48hourauthor.com.au/free event, and you'll be able to find, there is a link in there if you do want to spend half a day and then go and have lunch and pick their brain for 2 hours afterwards with Robert and Natasha and get a copy of whichever one of their books that you choose. There are still availability to do that. Across the board, across the country, there is still Australia's largest networking event is going on the next, when is it? 26th of August. Lots of different locations across Australia. This is a link to the one that I'm hosting there in Melbourne. So if you're any Melbourneites, you can go there. But if you just go to australiaslargestnetworkingevent.com, you'll be able to find a link to your latest, to your local venue, which is going to be great. And then there is, just so you guys do know, if you are interested, Natasha and I are running a full-day VIP marketing event. A few of you that are on the call are coming. 1 spot left, guys. We're only running 10 because we're running at our new house in our training room that we're going to be setting up there. There's 1 spot left. It's going to be a full day of brilliant quality marketing information and how you can run any events that you're planning next year, whether it be webinars, seminars, trainings, product launches, anything. We're going to teach you right the way through in a full day. We're going to do implementation as well. So it is up to $597 now. Early bird did finish a little while ago, but it's still $597. It is just an absolute bargain. And hey, let me know if anybody does want it. I'll see if I can arrange to do it at the early bird spot left. So thank you. I've got a few thank yous coming through. Not a worries, guys. We're doing this all to give you, as much value as you can. Are we bringing the Scale Up Your Marketing event to Perth? Not at the moment, Elaine, but I'll talk to you a little bit more. You'll learn a lot of this at our marketing day that I believe you're coming along to anyway. So when we've got a full day more in depth. So guys, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it again. And we will be in touch, and we will see you. That's just our little board, one of the ways that we do the marketing. Guys, you've done really well. Have a great week, and we'll see you in next week. All right, cheers.